Hey, here we are inside the Stone State Studio. My name is Chad Evans with my buddies, former members of Breaking Benjamin, Aaron Fink, Jeremy Hummel in studio. What's up?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Guys, I was talking to Aaron before we started rolling. There's a buzz right here. And it's silly.
Sure.
It is nuts. I never thought I'd see this happen. And it's gonna. I never did, and I'm one of the biggest Breaking Ben fans there are out there.
Do you have a tattoo though?
No.
Oh.
No.
Well, you got to step it up.
I
man.
do have to I have to up my game. You're right. So maybe after the show.
Yeah.
March 7th, Front Street Station. You guys are coming back for one night only.
Yep.
To play your Saturate album and We Are Not Alone album.
Not in its entirety.
Not in its
Selections
entirety.
from, yes.
So those are the two albums you're going to cover.
We should have done that.
We could at some point. That'd be a lot of material.
That.
Yeah.
Take a little intermission and
Yeah.
do the next album.
Yeah.
That actually would be cool.
Yeah, it would.
That would be really cool. We're going to talk about that later on.
Right.
Try to get
If we ever did that. Yeah.
Well, if we ever did that again. But this is really exciting. Can you just touch on, whoever wants to take the lead on this, how this manifested itself? And I think that's a lot of people's questions, like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So, Aaron, can you touch base on
truth
that?
be told, it's a local promoter here named Travis Fisher.
Yeah.
He brought the idea to me, and he kept it. He wouldn't even tell me. He's like, dude, I got an idea. And I was like, okay. And I was like, picked up the phone. I was like, what's this going to be? But it was his brainchild. And honestly, I didn't even have to think about it. I said yes immediately. But I was like, I got to call Jer, Mark,
Yeah.
and see what they think. And I think we got on a group call, and these guys were into it right away too. There wasn't much hesitation
Really?
or pause to it at all.
Unanimous.
The obvious next giant hurdle was like, yeah, we know we can play the songs. Now, who's gonna, sing
Yeah.
and hopefully play a guitar at the same time, which is a huge obstacle. I mean, there's guys that could sing it or guys that could play it, but to do it at the same time at a high level with conviction, that was the next biggest hurdle. So, that was the jumping off point.
Right.
But, yeah.
I think that the three of us, Aaron, Mark, and myself, had wanted to play together for a while,
That's great.
for years. And we even kind of talked about it from time to time, but it was, like Aaron said, Travis was the impetus to basically get in touch with us and say, here's what we should do, here's how we're going to do it, and then let's make it happen. Like Aaron, I mean, our biggest task was to find the person, but Travis was going to take care of, helping to find the venue, laying out all of the logistical things, and that's just something that I don't think that any of us really had the time to do.
Sure.
So that was a huge help, and so yeah.
I could tell you, and I was like, Travis called me up weeks before, and he's like,
Oh, so you knew before.
well,
hey now.
a little birdie told me. I didn't say
Gotcha.
anything to anybody, but he's like, Evans, I have an idea. I think this is going to work. I said, it's impossible. No way. He's like, I'm talking to the guys, I think. And unbeknownst to me, he calls me up and he's like, it's happening. It's going to happen. We got to find a venue. I said, it's happening? And I really couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I really couldn't believe it. I said, people are going to lose their minds. And they are.
Now, did you not think it would happen that the three of us would do something with somebody else, or just that?
You think it would be with like the four of us?
No.
No,
I knew that would be out of the question.
well, that would be a stretch. Yeah.
That would be
Now,
that. If that happened,
If that happened, you might wonder if the end of the world was coming soon.
There was an opportunity. I mean, I will say there was an opportunity when we were inducted to the Central Pennsylvania Hall of Fame, and then also the Luzerne one as well, Luzerne County, where he could have come to join us, and he chose to not.
okay,
So yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah, I don't think it was that much of a stretch, but
Really?
I appreciate that. Yeah,
I'm just so
that
happy
viewpoint.
it's happening.
I mean,
We've kept in contact over the years, and I mean, I played with Aaron on his one album, and we did some different stuff here and there, a couple shows, and
yeah, and I've played with. I don't know if I've played with Mark in a minute, but
you guys did the project with Nick. What was that called again?
Start Our Champion.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
But that was almost 15 years ago or whatever. But I mean, we've all stayed in touch, and any of the old past dramas, years and years behind us. So it's all good.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy that it's happening. Like I said, like I'm really happy this is going to go on, right in our backyard.
The three of us have not played these songs together in the same room in over 20 years.
Long time.
So
Yeah.
it's going to be a real treat to do that. And I've played these songs, not all of them, but a couple of them I still play with my own solo group and whatever. And I've played the songs with other people, and it's good.
Yeah.
It's not quite the same. And like, I went over to Mark's house about a month ago, and we kind of jammed out some of them just to kind of knock the dust off. And I was like, I was like, that's how the bass goes. Like, you know, and it just is. And like, you know, I can't wait to hear him play the drums on these songs again. It'll be like, that's how they really get. There's little tiny nuances that you can't exactly teach someone else. You know what I mean? There's little tiny, and that part, you know, one of many things, the beauty of Breaking Benjamin is we were all very detail oriented.
Yeah.
So every little nuance was baked in the cake every night. We didn't skip any of those parts, and it's not all musicians are that detail oriented. Like he was, you know, he would play the drums almost exact every night, you know?
Yeah. We baked in the cake. I really like, I mean,
That's
exactly
exactly
the future. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we were very detail oriented, and I believe that when the three of us start playing together again, I really feel I mean, even though time has gone by, I feel like it's going to be like riding a bike, and these songs are going to feel, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they feel better even, because like we've all grown as musicians. We've all, like, you know, had extra time to grow in between. So, I mean, I'm really looking forward to it, because I think that chemistry that Aaron and Mark and I have is going to be laid out right away. And then Baxter will do his thing on top of that.
Yeah.
The Saturate album, particularly for me, is still one of my favorite rock albums of all time.
A lot of people.
And I'm not kidding.
Yeah, thank you.
It is so good, front to back, a true album. Recorded in Danville at Saturation Acres, right? No?
That's not true.
No.
See, that's the theory.
That's-
Not the album, but the demo.
The demo.
The demo
yes.
that gets you to the album.
Yes.
Right.
That was recorded in Danville.
Yeah, with Paul Smith and Brett Alexander.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah.
The story goes, and I'm sure you heard the story, is that Brett was your engineer, right?
Yep.
You guys are in there doing your demos, and Paul was on vacation. I don't know if you heard this story. Or not,
I
but
have.
Paul's on vacation, and Paul hates vacations. You know, he's sitting on the beach.
Hates vacation?
Yeah, of course, yeah. We don't
a
like
weird
vacations. That's another podcast altogether.
Okay.
But he's sitting at the beach, you know, staring off into space. And Brett gets a hold of Paul when you guys are in there doing Saturate, or when you're doing your demos. And Brett said, Paul, you're going to need to get in here. And to be, because this is a true story.
Yeah.
Brett's like, this is different. This is something. And I want to go back in time, because it was you, Bug, and Ben.
Correct. Yeah.
When you talk about like the creative process, and you know you're baked into the cake kind of thing, did you know that you were ready to record? You're a really young band at the time. Were you guys ready? Like, we need to lay this out. And what were your goals at that time, if you remember, Jay? Like,
I do remember. It's a pretty long story,
Sure.
actually. I'll try to be concise. But so at that time, there was a huge scene in the Wilkes-Barre area. And at that time, when Ben and I first got together, we would actually go and play with Aaron and Mark. We would open for those guys, because they had Strangers with Candy,
Strangers
which later
with Candy.
became Lifer.
Yep.
And so, but Ben and I were down here doing our thing. Those guys were up in the Wilkes-Barre, Scranton area doing their thing. And there was a really nice scene. I wish it was still like that anymore.
Yeah.
But Ben and I pretty much put those first 5 songs together. Ben came back from California. came to where I was living, and he's like, you know, hey, I have these demos. And at the time I had a full-time gig playing with a blues guy. I was playing like, you know, between 3 and 5 days a week, going down to Maryland and everything.
I never knew that.
Who was that again?
It was his name was Randy Yetter, and the group is called Riviera Paradise.
Oh, it was like Stevie Ray Vaughan stuff.
Correct.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I did talk about this with Brett on that podcast.
Okay.
So if anybody wants to kind of do a deeper dive, but so Ben and I get together. I'm doing both things. So I'm doing the blues gig, but also Ben and I are really starting to. There's some electricity. I mean, he and I, when we were in bands here, when we were all in Sealands Grove, when we were younger. I think like everybody knew who was kind of like the best person in each band. You know, like Ben had his band, Aaron had his band, I had my band. Aaron's band was Seed.
Yeah, Ben had a band called Epic.
Nice.
And I
based out
had a
of
band
Middleburg.
called The Stand.
Yeah.
And we would do some shows together sometimes. And it was one of those things of where you could just look and say, okay, Ben is obviously a fantastic songwriter and singer and guitar player. Aaron's a monster in Seed. You know, he stands out. I'm in The Stand, you know, but we never really put that all together. Fast forward to years later, and then Ben comes over and he's like, I have these demos. I'm doing both gigs, Riviera Paradise, the blues thing, and with Ben. And then it just got to a point of where I had to make a decision on which I wanted to do. And I just decided to go with Ben. So I went from playing like 3 to 5
Made
days
the
a
right
week.
choice, my son.
I thank you. I agree. Yeah. So I mean, I just decided like the rock thing was where my heart was, and I just knew. I mean, I knew right away when we were doing this that it was just so good, and so I just made the decision. A lot of people thought it was crazy. A lot of people were like, you know, man, you're going from making good money playing with this, you know, this band, and you're doing your thing, and to like playing for 5 people on Thursday nights at the Voodoo Lounge.
I was one of those people.
Right.
Used to come see you guys play.
Voodoo Lounge.
So that was
see you
kind
guys
of
play.
how that got together. And then fast forward, we're opening for Aaron's bit for the Strangers with Candy and some other bands in that area. Freddie was a DJ, saw us, couldn't believe that nobody was doing anything with us, put up the money for us to do the EP. I got in contact with Brett. We did the EP, and then it just kind of goes from there. And then we can get into like how Aaron and Mark came into the fold and everything too.
Yeah.
But that was like the beginning.
Wow.
So yes, the songs were definitely ready to record. Like we knew that they were what they were. They were really good.
Did you guys have any sort of recording device that you could like make tapes and listen back to?
It's like a 4-track or something.
We did. I think we just did it old school back then. We were just
4-track?
No, I think we were just using like a boombox. That's how when we would practice, we would just record the stuff. And
When I rejoined the band, like you guys gave me a cassette, so that must have been
probably.
And I believe,
record and play.
I wonder if I have that somewhere. I believe it had the makings of what would become Natural Life and Simple Design.
Okay.
I don't think they were called that at the time.
Probably not. Yeah.
But it had like the sketches of those two, and it's on it. It was. I think it's just you. Maybe Bugs playing bass on it. I don't know. But those were the first when I kind of came back into the fold. Like that's the tape I got. It had Natural Life and Simple Design, the sketches of them. And I was like, sounds awesome. But they did play. They opened up for us, and they played in Wilkes-Barre, and I used to go to see them, and there was a lot of some of the sketches of the songs on Saturate where they're kind of in play.
That's crazy. Yeah. Your band with Breaking Ben was really responsible for a specific sound that you had that I think motivated younger bands to come up to pursue their dreams of, you know, being musicians, rock star life, that whole thing, where they would come into the studio and they would, well, we want to, it's kind of like a Breaking Ben kind of thing, like a Breaking Ben kind of
That's
sound.
cool.
And that's true. That is true. Was there a method to your madness about creating a specific sound? Because I think with the songwriting particularly, it does stick out to me. Was there any process to that, or is that just your own vibe? Like,
I mean, that would be more. I
sounds,
mean,
or?
I guess him and Ben kind of initially created the blueprint for the sound of the band.
Right.
Mark and I expanded upon
Yeah,
that
for
when we
sure.
came into the fold, and maybe took it in slightly other directions. But I mean, that would be more based on your guys' influences and, you know, when I used to hang with Ben back in those days, we were listening to stuff you wouldn't think would be the influences. Like we sat around and listened to Counting Crows records.
No kidding.
Beatles records. You know, I know Ben's a big Nirvana fan.
Yeah.
We listened to Tool for sure. Tool's in the mix there.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Ben and I liked a band called Failure, if you ever heard of them.
I haven't.
But probably not. I mean, we liked Korn.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
that was like the early '90s they came out. But some of those influences aren't probably what you'd think. Not as heavy as
Sure.
you think they were.
Yeah.
You know.
I would probably throw in Incubus and the Deftones as well.
Back then,
You know, it was,
yeah,
like
those
Tool,
were up and coming,
Incubus,
you
the
know, bands that were
Deftones.
popping at the time.
Yeah. Yep.
I think too. I mean, my band Stranger with Candy, we were playing Deftones and Tool and Korn and all that stuff, and that was all the rage in the late '90s, and especially in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. And I think that these guys opening up for us kind of maybe affected the blueprint to some degree. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, what was it like with the transition from you get your demos recorded in Danville and then Hollywood Records just comes in and sweeps you up? Is that? I mean, was that?
Can I backtrack for a second?
Yeah, please.
Because you were talking about some of the songwriting stuff.
Sure.
So
yeah.
like with Saturate, there was some songs where Ben brought demos. Like so, some of the earlier stuff was Medicate. I know you're a big Medicate guy.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk.
Medicate. I can't remember all of them, but then there were some songs that, like Aaron said, that they once those guys came into the fold, that they expanded on. I still remember, and I talked about this at the Hall of Fame thing. I remember so this is all happening in my dad's basement, like over behind Dunkin' Donuts, like on the strip, right?
Yeah.
And we started working on Wish I May, and I remember it just really was starting to come together really quickly. And after we got done, we put it together fast, and Aaron's just like, man, is this really going to be this easy? You know, I mean, there was just a thing that we were all. It sounds cliche, but it was pretty magical.
It was magical.
It was I can't remember. To my memory, the first time we all four of us played together was live. I don't believe we rehearsed, and Ben sent me a set list of like 30 songs. I had to learn a couple days.
I think that maybe it was at Club XS. Is that correct?
Or the Voodoo or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
But I think we got together and rehearsed and started writing together after that at your dad's place.
That sounds right. Yeah.
But it was the chemistry was like unbelievable,
Insane.
and I don't know, it was undeniable. Like the four of us, it was like his voice, the songwriting, the musicianship, the personalities. It was all there, like instantly, right?
I remember just as a little tidbit. So then there's some stuff that just came together by happy accident. Next to Nothing was literally early on. It's just Ben and I, like, because oftentimes it would be just him and myself, and like Bug wouldn't be there, but we would just work on tunes and putting stuff together. And that intro, he just started playing, like he was literally just plugged in his guitar, started playing just a couple chords at the beginning. I was like, what's that? And he's like, what? I said, just that little thing you just played. And he's like, what this? And he started, I was like, yeah. I was like, that's good. I said, let's work on that. And the next thing you know, that becomes Next to Nothing. Wow. So it was a combination of stuff that was there early on, little happenstance songs like that, and then stuff that Mark and Aaron expanded on. There were songs, I will say this, there were songs that we, meaning Aaron and Mark and myself, had to basically fight for to keep on Saturate. Like there were some songs.
Which
like,
ones?
Yeah,
Natural Life was one.
Oh,
I
really?
remember like there were.
I love that song.
Me too. There was like, you know, like meetings of the band. Like we recorded Saturate in Hollywood, and there was like meetings where like the three of us are kind of pining for those songs like Natural Life. Yeah. Later on, there was Simple Design we really liked. And
did we record any extra songs out in LA for Saturate, or is it just the ones on the record?
Just those to my.
So there's no like
memory.
ones that
Unreleased kind
on
of
the
thing.
cutting room floor.
Really?
I can't remember. I don't think there was.
Yeah, I mean,
I think everything we recorded. Yeah, I mean,
there was a song called. I think at one point there may have been a song that we had that was called Stages, but I don't know where that lies, or maybe it turned into something else.
I don't know.
But we kind of had our stuff, and
yeah, Ben was never. I think we were more attached to some of the songs, like he's saying that he was, and he's pretty like ruthless as far as like
Yeah.
that song's like, and we would be like, "Are you crazy? This song's fucking awesome, dude!"
Yeah.
Like, so I think, I mean, again, that's part of the chemistry of the group is we'd referee stuff and balance each other out and talk people off of ledges, you know.
yeah. And then the second album was much more of a, just kind of a collaboration because we were kind of just writing more from the ground up. And
yes.
So the first album was done in Los Angeles. So we lived there for a couple months and we had apartments and stuff and we did that there. And then We Are Not Alone was done in Times Square in New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in a recording studio that you would never know if you looked at it for the building.
It looked
from
like
the
an
outside.
office building.
Yeah, you would never know, and then you go up to the fifth floor, or whatever.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, and then the
The elevator
doors open
opened
up,
and you're like, holy shit.
And you're just like, whoa, this is like a full-fledged. Like it would be like if this whole building was on the fifth floor of just some huge skyscraper that you would never guess that it was a recording studio in there.
Did you feel pressure for a second album? Like it was a 3-album deal?
Two. It was too what they call in the business too firm.
Okay.
Which means and our manager was responsible for that.
Yeah.
He'd kind of been around the block a couple times, and he knew like if you say too firm, then they can't cut you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of those things isn't personal. It's just numbers on a page. If they give you a bunch of money and you don't make it back, and it doesn't look like you're gonna make it back, you get axed, especially back in the 90s and 2000s. But so we got a too firm deal, which in hindsight was everything because Saturate did good. Especially by today's standards, but back then a lot of people were selling records, and it didn't do great.
I think my memory is the record company and our manager Larry and everybody was thinking like this thing's going platinum.
It did,
and it didn't do as well as a lot of people.
It took a while
thought
to
it
even
would
go
do.
gold.
Yeah, it did. I mean, and it's a different conversation, I think. But my personal belief is that happened largely because of the whole Napster. That's when all that stuff was starting.
Oh, sure, yeah.
It's a different conversation, but as far as the pressure thing goes for album 2, I think that I thought that there was because my instinct said Saturate didn't do as well as it should have. So if we don't do something with We Are Not Alone,
we knew that we would have been cut. We knew that if the next one wasn't the thing, we were done.
And it was.
But I don't know if I felt any pressure. I know there was so much like great creativity going on at the time and we were starting to write songs from ground. And like we wrote those songs in a garage in Mountaintop, Pennsylvania.
No kidding.
And I mean, we knew we had the songs.
Yeah.
Right.
And then some songs took some different turns and stuff and became different things. And
I think we worked on those songs for like a whole summer. If I remember. It was a couple
we
months.
basically, I think at the time we were kind of treating it like a job. I mean, I would drive up there usually like 4 or 5 days a week, and we would start at a certain time, and then we would go. And then
So you never slept over? You just drove back and forth every day?
Pretty much, yeah. It was because it was like an hour drive. From where I back in the.
Yeah, gas was 83 cents. An hour.
Exactly. Yeah,
It wasn't a big deal.
So and then I think we knew with So Cold was pretty awesome.
But that was the last song. I don't think we had that in the garage. So we did that later. To my recollection, that one came together. That was like what I would call like a junkyard song where
Frankenstein.
Yes, like it was like some shit that I wrote, some shit that Mark wrote, and some shit that Ben wrote, and then it all kind of got smashed together and it was not on our, it wasn't on our bingo card for that album, but our producer, I believe, was like, I think we need one more, and
you're like, okay.
that was the last one that came together, and
So Cold was the last one that came together.
Yeah, I don't know if you
and it
remember,
was
but, like,
it was Frankenstein.
Yeah.
It was all
Part of,
pieced together, and
part of So Cool was a song that we had called Always. And I don't remember if it was
the chorus part,
chorus or
yeah.
something like that, but we sort of just Frankenstein the whole
Yeah.
thing, and we put some parts together, and I don't know, like, if you remember, but the beginning of So Cold, I kind of remember that sort of happening organically a little bit too, like that little lick was played, and then it was just sort of a little build into it. I mean, I can't say it was like that the very first time we played it, but I don't think we were saying, hey, do you have an intro? And like, hey, do you have a verse? It was
no,
just kind
I
of,
remember.
it was a vibe.
Yeah, it was
I
a
think
vibe, and it was in a rehearsal space in New Jersey, and,
Yep.
the producer was there, and definitely coaxing us to like, let's get something here. It was kind of not forced, but it was encouraged.
Was there a
along.
deadline? Do you
Yeah,
do you have to get stuff done at a certain
this is
point?
A long
that-
time ago, but I assumed that there was the place in Times Square. I assume was booked,
Yeah,
and
sure.
paid for or somehow, or I don't know.
I'm so thankful. Excuse me. I'm so thankful that the record company was on board with So Cold being the lead single, because it could have I think that there was a lot. You talked about pressure. I think that there was some pressure to come out of the gate strong with like a really good first single, and they could have gone
That
with
was
something.
the first one, right?
Yeah, they could have gone with something a little bit more safe, because I'm not going to say that there was nothing that sounded like it on the radio, but at the same time, like when you hear the opening of that song, it's like something's different here. Like there, you know what I
It
mean?
doesn't.
Like
The song is a slow burn.
it is.
It does
Yeah.
not come out swinging.
And
So in that regard, it doesn't bounce off the radio like most hit songs
right.
do.
It's not like here's
Most
the new
hits-
Breaking Benjamin.
Yeah, most hit
You know?
songs are like smash.
Right.
That's a slow burn on that one.
But it worked, guys.
And that's how the
Guys.
song's trajectory went as well. The song was a slow burn in the sense of every week we would watch the charts, and it would just get a little bit higher on the active rock chart,
Yeah.
chart, and then eventually it was number one. So, so yeah, that was.
But there was a
Great.
guy. There was a guy at the label. There was a guy at the label that like fought for that song.
Is that right?
I don't think it was everyone.
Jason
The Canadian guy.
Link.
No.
Was he like an A&R guy? Or
Yeah.
Was he, yeah.
Jason Jordan was our A&R.
No, maybe he was the head of the radio.
Okay.
Joey Scoleri,
I remember that name. Yeah.
Wow.
who works at Live Nation these days. But I don't think that was everyone's. I don't think it was unanimous. I think that guy was like, that's the song. Trust me. I've been doing this for a long time, or whatever he said. And he fought for it. And, then everybody got on board. But
And then how many copies did that album sell?
to date, I don't know.
No, I mean, well, that album went platinum.
It
gold
did.
and then platinum, and
It
then
That's
might,
what I wanted you to
It might
say.
be double platinum. By
I
now.
mean, I would think.
I would
these
think it
days
was
would
double
be
platinum.
double or triple, maybe even. After all this time.
Yeah.
but who knows?
bananas.
Yeah. The fun fact. So these days, a lot of record companies don't report the total sales to the RIAA, because like you have to spend money to go in and research to see like how much
kidding.
things were sold. And a lot of record companies are, especially for, I think, some bands maybe like ours where it wasn't going to be a diamond seller or something, you know what I mean? But yeah, you have to spend money to do that research. And a lot of record companies anymore with the internet sales, excuse me, are just like, no, we're not going to spend
Yeah, and
money
they
to do that.
don't give you the plaques anymore too. You gotta buy
Right.
them yourself. Isn't that cheesy?
You got to buy your own plaques?
Nowadays. Back in the day, you got them, but isn't that cheesy?
That is cheesy. That's ridiculous. I have awards back here that I had to buy myself, but that's another
You gotta
story.
make your own trophy.
I want to talk about the show, March 7th, Saturday at Front Street Station.
Yeah.
Opening act, Small Town Titans.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have, Mark, we got Jeremy and Aaron, and obviously we need someone to sing and play guitar. I didn't get the call. I understand. I don't play guitar.
We tried you and you were busy.
I would have made it work.
We rang you.
But we found a guy by the name of Baxter Teal.
Yep.
How did this whole process come about, and what do we know about this guy? So how did we
honestly,
find
we
Baxter?
poked around a little bit before we got to him, and it's on the DL.
Yeah.
We tried to seek out a couple guys, and nobody was fitting the bill exactly, or there was like, I knew guys that could play the guitar parts but not sing, and so it was tough. But and then Mark was like, you know what? I know this guy from North Carolina that I had. Mark had played in he has a band called Deep Field, and Mark played with him in the past and was like, he liked that. Yeah. But Mark had played with
story that's comical.
Mark played with him like a year or two ago, and he's like, yeah, he can play guitar decent, and he's a great singer. And I checked out some of Deep Field's music. That's great.
Yeah.
And then I guess he sent a video to us. Like Mark reached out to him, and was like into it and sent a video of him like playing and singing a couple songs, and it sounded fantastic. So
first thing he sent us, I think, was "Blow Me Away," because I actually remember sitting in the studio. I was doing a session.
I think
here.
it was the first thing I got was Rain. I believe he sent Rain acoustic or something.
Maybe Mark didn't send that to me because I don't really care for that song. But
Well, I want to talk about
so I was laughing because when Baxter first came into the fold, I was telling people that he came from a band called Deerfield.
Deerfield.
And like I never really thought
Close
about
enough.
it, but the one that I said it out loud, I don't know if it's like my dad or somebody, and I thought about it, and I was like, I don't think that's right, because that'd be really strange for somebody to name their band like it's a deer in a field.
It's very
I was like,
Pennsylvania
it's
sounding.
Deerfield. It's Deerfield. I was like, there we go. But yeah, so we had a couple people send videos, and the way I've explained it to some people is that the couple people that sent stuff in, I think were trying to do Ben a little bit too much. Ben has some little idiosyncrasies in his voice, and like the people
he has a little yodel
Yeah.
to some stuff.
they were doing a fine job, I mean, with what they sent in, but I think that they were focusing too hard on that and not enough on just like part of themselves as well. And Baxter sent his in, and what I really liked about it was that he had Ben's tonality, and he did Ben's stuff really well, but at the same time, he also brings a little bit of his own thing to the table, and I like that he has a little bit of gruff to his voice, almost like a little bit of like a bluesy type of thing, which I think is really
Yeah, I think people can expect him to be singing the stuff in his own personality. It's not going to be,
Which is cool.
It's not going to be like
It's not
exact
a Ben tribute.
Yeah, we didn't find like how Journey has a guy.
Sure.
He doesn't look like Steve Perry, but if you close your eyes, you're like, wow, that sounds exactly like.
Yeah.
I don't think that's what we have going on. I think we have someone who's a fantastic singer. He's going to hit the right notes, but he's going to do it with his own personality.
Yeah, he's gonna
I think that's
deliver
what you
with
can
his own-
expect.
with his own personality. That's awesome. Okay, I know I'm keeping you too long, but it's very interesting to me.
I'm enjoying the conversation. So
Got to talk about the set list. Now, before
None,
we started
none
rolling,
yet.
I'm like, here we go, set list. And Aaron's like,
Tight-lipped on that.
tight-lipped,
Yeah.
which is fun. However, just to influence anything, is it locked down? Is it locked?
It's not. Is it?
I was in radio for 25 years. I know how to program.
It's 99. It's not locked, but it's 90. I mean, we're still 5 weeks out, so it could be tweaked. Let's hear it.
Listen,
lay it on
I
me.
just think it's a great idea
okay, hit us.
to kick it off with Home. First song
open the
right
show?
out of the gate.
Oh, okay.
Right out of the gate.
I mean, it makes the most sense.
it makes the most sense, doesn't it?
Chad's going song one.
But if you wanted to set it up and you don't,
okay.
a singer doesn't come out and talk before the first song. So you could another train of thought could be if you wanted to set it up and say,
Boy,
are we home?
I
Then it's
understand.
got to be later in the set.
I
you
like
can
the
set
setup.
that up. Gotcha.
I like the setup idea.
This is good. We'll take notes.
Just listen.
We'll
I
keep
mean,
this in. We'll keep this in
I think it would be
consideration.
great. Also,
What else? You want Medicate?
Dude,
that's what. I
obviously.
know that's what you're gonna say.
that's my
That's your
I
guy.
want Medicaid.
That's your
Chad's jam.
That's my
Yeah,
jam.
that's
a good song.
We're doing we're in studio with Jay, and we're producing Drum Tip TV.
Yeah.
And you had all the drums set up, and I said, "Hey,
Give me a.
can you
give me
just
a smidge of
do
that.
Medicaid for me?" He goes, "Are you serious?" And I said,
that was a pretty good imitation.
I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Okay," and he just went into it, and it was like the greatest thing ever. It was. I appreciate.
cool.
It was
Thanks.
really
I'm
sweet
glad
of you
you
to do.
enjoyed that.
It was
Yeah.
really great because it just took me back to the staircase.
That's awesome.
You know,
You must love it
that's
because it was just drums too. So
That's
you
all
might,
that matters.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
A couple years ago, didn't you do? I saw a clip of you like maybe at KNS Music playing the songs or something.
Yeah, and
that
some
was really
clips that I
cool.
did.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was really cool.
so fun.
I enjoyed that as
Right.
much as like any
Yeah.
fan or whatever.
I realized I've known you guys for a long time because you came into the radio station to promote Saturate because we were playing
Okay.
Medicate and Polyamorous, and I think those were the songs we were playing at the time. I don't
Were
know if
you
it was-
like on air or like an intern? At
yeah.
that
I
point?
was a afternoon guy.
You must have been pretty young.
Yeah. I was 22,
I was gonna say,
21.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and Jay came in to push this album and stuff like that, and then he's like, "Would you like tickets to the show?" I said, "I think we're best friends," and that was for the Staircase.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a great club.
Love that venue.
Do you know like one of the coolest things? That was a great club.
Great club.
When we would play there, it just got to the point of where, so I was still living in an apartment in Selinsgrove, and I would literally sit in my living room watching TV until like probably, because we didn't go on until like 12 or 12:30 back then.
Those were the days.
And those were the days. And so I would sit in the apartment. I would leave my apartment at like 9 or 9:30, drive up to the Staircase, and they had that. Just the only backstage was like that little side.
It was like a closet.
Yeah, it was like a closet. So I'd walk in the side door. Place was just packed to the gills. Warm up for 10 minutes. Walk on stage. Do the show.
Diva.
Listen to this guy.
Well, do the show. As soon as the show was over, went back over, and we were like just drenched in sweat. So maybe like towel off, like, you know, whatever. Get in my van and drive back.
You know,
home.
it doesn't sound like you though. Like you're usually punctual and on point. Like
Well, I wasn't
if I
late.
did
I
that,
wasn't- but there was
if
nowhere
I
to
did
go.
that, you'd
Yeah.
be nervous, right?
Yes.
If you'd be like, "We're Zarin, dude, we're going on in 5 minutes," if
Yeah.
the script was flipped, he'd be like, "Dude,
Yeah. There was nowhere to go. I mean, and like in any time we played, everybody wanted to be where the backstage area
Right.
was, but there really wasn't one there. But that was just kind of fun, is that I could just sit there. My stuff was set
Yeah.
up because we had techs and everything, and just go up there, play, and then
And-
sometimes maybe
And
Yvette
Mark
I would,
is usually the one that's late in this
Yes.
group.
Really?
Yeah, Mark was always late. For
So maybe that's
everything.
when you showed up to the studio today. You're like, "Is Jeremy here?" I said, "Not yet." He goes, "I beat Jeremy."
See?
Like, he got here before you did. That's fun.
Yep.
But you guys are going to rehearse, obviously,
Yes,
for the show.
we're gonna meet Baxter, and then rehearse, and an hour later.
What do you think
So
that's going to be like?
It's
awesome.
Going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think the first day will be a little rusty, but the second day it'll be slamming.
Yeah.
And then by the show day, we'll be
Ready to go?
everybody's a pro.
Yeah.
It should
Yeah.
be fine.
I've had moments where I'm just practicing the stuff, and it's like
Is it fun to remember the little?
there's
licks
a lot of
and the
stuff I
little-
remember, but then there's also sometimes where it's like, geez, excuse me, I'm just thinking, oh, I forgot I played that right
Yeah,
there.
like it's a little lick. And you're
Little
like,
licks
oh,
or
shit.
something, yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
But I mean, there's just times when I can just feel like my body is smiling, just because it's like just this joy of playing the music, and I think that we play this stuff so many times, it's baked in. We'll use Aaron's word.
Yeah.
It's baked into our subconscious that it becomes part of you. So to play these songs again will also be somewhat emotional for myself, because
sure.
it's like they were such a huge part of our lives, and then to bring that back and play it again, and then with people who are really there to hear it, I think it's going to be super cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and the room is going to be packed with super fans.
Die-hard fans.
Like, you ain't kidding. This,
I mean, we could play deep cuts and people would get it
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be like fishing with dynamite. It's gonna
this
be
sold out really fast.
Yeah.
Really fast. No, there's no tickets available. Sorry, can't.
Yeah, we're promoting the show, but unfortunately,
Yeah.
it is sold out.
Yeah.
It's a good thing for
It's a
us,
good
but
problem,
for the public, I guess, if you're into it, and there's no tickets left, it sucks. But it is what it is.
And it is one night only.
Yeah. I mean, it truly is.
It is,
by
for
design
sure.
and everything we've talked about. I mean, obviously, if it goes off without a hitch and everyone has a great time, maybe we could do it again. It could be maybe it's a once a year thing. I don't know. Yeah. It is interesting logistically. Mark lives in Arizona and Baxter lives in North Carolina, so it's not like if it ever happened again, it would be once in a blue moon. But it really, honestly, it is just for one night. We're not doing like Kiss where they say it's the final tour and they're all full of shit. Like it honestly is one night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Travis told me about this, obviously I'm happy to be one of the many fine sponsors for the event.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Super excited for the show. March 7th, opening act, Small Town Titans at Front Street Station, number 2 Front Street in Northumberland, a railroad eatery. That's what they call it.
What?
There we go.
How do you like that?
What's number 2?
I did a lot of commercials for them.
What's the number 2 part?
I think that's their address. Number 2 Front Street.
Got it. Got it. Yeah.
But I can't wait for March 7th. Opening song is going to be Home.
Yes.
I'm really
right into
pumped up
Medicaid.
right into Medicaid. If it were up to me. Yeah. But I'm super happy for you guys.
Thank you.
We're all very excited for the show. It's going to be a lot of fun. But again, thanks for taking the time. I know you guys are busy.
Thanks for having us, man. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Aaron, Fink, Jeremy Hummel. Make sure you come out if you have tickets. If you don't have tickets, I'm sorry. You're out of luck. That's just the way it goes. But we'll see you on March 7th, Saturday at Front Street Station with these guys, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Appreciate you guys coming.
Awesome.
Thanks.